Hey girls, it's Tuesday. This week is Katherine Appreciation Week. You should go into the comments and you should say, Katherine, you're spectacular, or Katherine, happy birthday on Saturday, or something lovely. And then you can probably comment later about the story I'm going to tell you about Katherine and I. Now, Katherine and I have a very interesting relationship. We've been friends for, I think, 6 years. A long time in my standards. And she's definitely one of the closest friends I've had in my life. But we bring out this kind of sneaky, creepy, evil side in each other, which leads to some interesting stories and some interesting things. Now, I have a lot of stories of us creeping on people and being weirdos, but the one I'm going to share today is just a little snippet into the way that we think when we're around each other, because we have this kind of mental telepathy, how do you pronounce that? Telepathy, where we'll like finish each other's sentences sometimes, and we're often thinking the exact same thing and not even realizing it. So a couple years ago, I was at Catherine's house. We had walked home from school, and at that point, I didn't live very close to the school, so I was usually going to Catherine's house after school, and I'd get picked up there. So we walked about the 2 miles that it takes to get home from school, and when we got there, Katherine realized that she had left the key inside, and so we were locked out. And our first idea was to try and break into the house. But they had been doing a lot of construction and remodeling our house, and they'd just gotten these new special screens for the windows that were like thief-proof or something, where they were a lot harder to pull off than a normal screen, where you just kind of pull back the nail and then pull the screen off. So we were kind of nervous about that. We're like, well, how are we going to get in? Because it's not easy. And she knew which window would be unlocked. And then we looked at the screen, kind of looked at the little mechanism, and it took us about 12 seconds to open the window. So either we're really good thieves, or those aren't very good thief-proof windows. I have a lot of memories sitting at Catherine's house, outside, on the porch steps, watching Doctor Who, when she was first trying to get me into the show, watching probably Buffy. What other shows did we watch? I feel like every time I watch a show and I enjoy it, it's because Katherine has told me to watch the show, and then it takes me like a good 2 months to get around to watching it, and then when I finally do, I'm like, this is so good, and Katherine's like, yes, you moron, I told you to watch it 2 months ago. I have great memories of being in absurd costumes at Katherine's house. I seem to always be covered in face paint or some kind of weird prosthetic mask most of the time that I'm at Katherine's house. At the end of the video, I'm going to put in a little slideshow of just some pictures and clips of us doing absurd things. And I love reviewing books with Katherine. I love discussing books and movies, and ooh, they should have left this in, or they shouldn't have cut that out, or they should have cut this part out, it wasn't necessary, or what an interesting scene, I wonder why it was written like that. Stuff like that. We also talk about Italian boys, so it's a good, well-rounded relationship. And the point of this is that, Katherine, you're spectacular. I am glad to be your friend. I am very excited for your birthday and for your get-together party thing in a little bit, because we're going to go to the Ren Fair, and I love the Ren Fair so much. And, Grace, I'll see you and hear your Katherine story tomorrow.
When I wake up, yeah, you know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. And when I go out, yeah, you know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And if I get drunk, yeah, you know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, you know I'm gonna be the man who's havered into you. 'Cause I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man, to walk 1,000 miles, to fall down at your door. And when I'm working, yeah, you know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money, it comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. And when I come